All right, my name is Chris Campbell. I'm a practicing CPA, and I work with small businesses and individuals to help them pay the least amount of taxes possible while keeping them out of jail. So today I wanted to talk about a company formation tactic. Now, this is specifically for those that might be located in New York City. I'm in the New York City area, so I do deal with a number of New York City based companies. So when you create a company, or specifically an LLC, company in general, New York State has this pesky law. I think it's a bit antiquated. Actually, I know it's a bit antiquated. When you create a new entity in New York State, you have to publish in a newspaper the announcement of the formation of the LLC. I don't know if there's other states that do this. I know you have to do it in New York. Any other state that I've created companies in, I haven't encountered this. I don't know if it's just New York State that has this law or not, but it's pretty antiquated. But you have to publish in a newspaper the formation of your LLC. There's nothing fancy to it. I think you just have to put the name of the company, when it was formed, how long it'll be formed for. It's very basic information that you have to put. So what a lot of folks do to meet this requirement is they post it in the classifieds. Usually it's the most cost-effective way to do it. You just take out a small classified ad in the newspaper and you run it. Now, the annoying part, that's already annoying, but the another annoying part about it is that you have to run it for 2 weeks straight. I guess the idea is they need to make sure that people see it. I'm trying to remember, it's 2 publications that you have to do. One, I think you can put once a week, but I think another, you have to run an ad for about 2 weeks straight. And that can get pretty annoying. But most importantly, if you are located in New York City, that can get rather expensive because as far as the publications are concerned, you have to publish in a publication that serves your area where the business is located. So for folks that are located in New York City, that can be a relatively expensive proposition because if you have an entity in New York City, you're probably looking at things like the Daily News and some of your big publications that reaches a lot of people, and you have to do it for 2 weeks straight. And that can get rather expensive. So it's not like you can just do it once and call it a day. You got to run it for 2 weeks straight. When you're in New York City and you have to reach these huge publications, they can get relatively expensive very quick. Probably talking about a couple $1,000s when it's all said and done. And that's a pretty silly requirement to simply just take classified ads in the paper that really no one cares about. But nonetheless, it's still the law. Maybe one day they'll get rid of it. But there is a way around it. What you can do to avoid it, when you initially form the company in a county or area outside of New York City. That way, when you have to do the publications, the company address on record is that of an area other than New York City. Usually you want to pick a place like upstate, like Albany, where the population is a lot smaller. And as a result, to publish in the publications that reach those areas, it's a lot less expensive. So you want to make sure you have your company located, at least initially, say upstate New York. Now, you are operating in New York City. You're not necessarily changing your operations. The way that you can go about doing this and staying above board and still operate out of New York City on paper is when you initially form your company, you will use a registered agent. And for those who don't know, a registered agent is something that most states require when you first form your company. And registered agent's duty is to simply receive documents from the state, or if you were to get sued and they're looking you up, usually those documents go to the registered agent, but they're there to receive official documents from the state. That registered agent has to have an address within the state. So the play here is when you get a registered agent, and most registered agents know to do this, especially if you're dealing with New York. Most registered agents will have an address that's located outside of the 5 boroughs upstate. And you sign up for that registered agent. And when it's time to go ahead and do those publications, you can use the address of the registered agent for letting the state know where your company is at least initially located. That way, when you have to utilize the publications, you can utilize those in Albany versus New York City, and something that would cost you a few $1,000s to publish in, say, New York City publication, you can publish for about 250 bucks, say Albany or upstate publication. It's a pretty significant savings. It's a good way to save some money and then remain above board. Once you meet that publication requirement, then you could go ahead and file with the state change of address form, and then put your actual New York City address, because there is no publication requirement for making a change of address. So you only have to do the publication once when you first form the company, and that's it. You're done for life. So you can change addresses without a problem. So that's a quick way to save yourself a good amount of money. And again, this is specifically for if you are creating an entity based out of New York City. So that's all for now. So if you have any more questions about this particular topic or any other accounting or tax related questions, feel free to reach out. Happy to help. Talk to you on the next one.